If you're the kind of person who keeps saying, "I just saw something amazing," if you're the kind of person who has a new idea every minute, if you're the kind of person who comes back from every trip abroad and says, "Now that's an idea that could really work here," if you're the kind of person who knows that the process matters more than the idea itself, if you're the kind of person who is willing to take an active role in the world's future, welcome to the HEC Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. Here you will find a unique blend of entrepreneurial energy, 20 programs to help you get started, grow, and develop, 20 partnerships of excellence, 400 projects supported each year, an exceptional community of 4,500 students and 60,000 HEC alumni, an ecosystem of 400 professors, researchers, and recognized experts. Whatever your profile is, whether you're part of a budding startup or a burgeoning unicorn, SMEs in acceleration or corporate transformation, social or environmental entrepreneurs, whether you're from Paris, Shenzhen, or LA, if you are driven by the desire to change the world, join us. Together, we will help you grow with ambition, efficiency, and make a big impact. The fast track to success. To grow beyond even what you thought you could. Make it happen. Make it big.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to HEC Paris Demo Day. We are delighted to have you with us today on this sunny campus, joining us for our pitch competition starring our most promising startups.
My name is Rémi Rivas, and I'm the director of the HEC Paris Startup Launchpad program. With me today is Margot Boulet-Maurel, director of the X-HEC Entrepreneur program.
First and foremost, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all 5 jury members. The first one, Inge KERKLOH-DEVIF, Senior Executive Director of HEC Paris Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center.
Henrik Penven, Director of Deep Tech Creative Destruction Lab and HEC Challenge Plus.
Isabelle Fauchon-Leyo, Consultant, Coach, and teacher in innovation methodology, entrepreneurship, and pitch.
Danny Tello, Corporate Ventures Director at Capgemini.
And Marie Ferry, VC at Daphne.
This panel of remarkable juries possess a deep expertise and understanding of the startup ecosystem. And thanks to their invaluable insight, they will challenge our bright brains on their innovative projects.
Thanks again for being with us today. Your commitment and enthusiasm to all startups are truly invaluable.
So now, let me give you a brief overview of what to expect during this exciting demo day. We'll have 12 startups pitching their project in 3-minute speech straight, followed by 3-minute Q&A session. Unfortunately, Margot and I will be stopping you after 3 minutes. And then you will have 1 minute to assess them on the Pitch and Rise application.
So, the jury will assess all startups, but you, the audience, will be able to evaluate them too by scanning the QR code that will appear on the screen after each Q&A session. So, to assess them, you will need to select the right startup. The name of each startup will appear on each screen, and then don't forget to click on Validate.
I see none of the jury doing it, but you, dear jury, have a specific link and a specific QR code, so do not use this one at all, okay? We need to separate your grades from the audience. At 5:15 today, we will gather here on the main stage again to announce 2 winning teams, one by the jury and one by you, the audience. So don't forget to vote, because it really matters, as the winning teams will win a trophy, of course, but also a 4-month incubation at the Incubator HEC Paris and an interview in HEC Stories as well. So make sure to come back here at 5:15 to discover our winners.
Now, Rémi, I think it's time to welcome our first startup to pitch, Intact, with Gabrielle and Olivia. Please give them a round of applause.
Round of applause, please. Mesdames. So I start the timer when you start to pitch, okay? We got everything?
Yes.
Well, then it's on.
Hello everyone, my name is Olivia, and I've been addicted to beauty since I was 12. And now I'm I'm a student and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm broke, and I know how expensive a skincare routine can be, especially when you like quality.
And my name is Gabrielle, and I work for 1 year for a big cosmetic group, and we talked about the destruction of unsold valid product every day, and I was really shocked by the fact that no clear solution was offered. And the thing is, for brand image is the most important thing for luxury brands, and it's really difficult for them to get rid of the excess unsold valid stock that they have. As a result, today they prefer to destroy this stock, but now in France with the HEC law, it's not possible to do so without being taxed.
70% of all unsold products are still valid. They have not passed their shelf life. We're talking about end of series, changes of packaging, packaging with defects, and products with short shelf lives.
And we know that because we talked to more than 80 brands, and we know for sure that they have unsold stock, they cannot put their brand image at risk, and they have a strong willingness to stop the destruction of these products.
So this is why, with Gabrielle, we're building Intact, which is a flash sales platform of a new kind. We buy the stock from the brands and we sell it to a younger clientele at a discount. And we do this while preserving brand DNA. And we want to make luxury and premium zero waste.
So there are key benefits on the brand side. First of all, the DNA is fully respected because we are a premium and luxury pure player, and we co-validate every graphic asset with brands. A major acquisition channel because we build loyalty among future customers, a way to strengthen the CSR commitment of these brands, and a way to avoid the HEC law taxation. We work with an efficient process, which is well known by the brands. So we agree on the stock with brands, then the sale takes place with 6 or 7 days, and once the sale is done, we buy the stock, and the brand delivers directly the products to the consumer.
We share the value equally between all the stakeholders. So we give 30% to the customer through a discount on our website. We buy the stock at 30% from brands, from the retail price, and we keep 30% for Intact. 10% goes to logistics, and all deliveries are handled by the brands from their warehouse. We are unique because we are specialized in beauty, because we focus on a younger clientele, because we put brand image at the center, which differentiates us from our competitors and allows us to start conversations with luxury.
So we are currently live with a pilot sale with 3 brands that you can find here on the website www.intact.fr, and we are already in advanced discussion with these brands for September.
We aim at becoming the French leader for zero waste beauty by 2024 and taking over Europe by 2025.
And because we have a few products left with this QR code on the website, you have a promotional code special for the Demo Day 2023 with -10% on your order for between today and tomorrow.
Thank you for your support.
Congratulations. Well done, 3 minutes straight. And it's time for the Q&A of our dear jury members. So please do not hesitate to start. We only have 3 minutes.
Thank you for this great pitch. Maybe one question about brand image. How can you make sure that you preserve their brand image, and especially as compared to other competitors?
First of all, this was the aim of the pilot. So we have many brands for September that already validate the platform that we had this week. And also, we co-validate every graphic asset and every text on the website, which is not the case with their competitors. So brands are super happy because they can control everything on the social media, but also on the websites.
Second question, do you have some concrete proof of the acquisition capabilities of your products that people who use Intact will end up being actual customers of the brand?
That's one of the things we sell to brands. So we work with promotional codes, so brands can then redirect our customers to their website, and we can track that. And the point is to basically build acquisition for brands from our customers, which are not the direct customers of these brands, and to redirect them on the website.
What is your experience with big corporates? It is easy to sell it to them? Are they able to embrace such innovation?
It's the current topic for them because of the law. So conversation is quite easy to start. Business cycles are longer, obviously, than for smaller brands. So the pilot is with smaller brands. But now in June, we have a lot of meetings with big groups. So the point is to start that conversation so that we are ready for September in 2 months.
What is your customer acquisition policy or strategy?
So for now, for the pilot, we're doing a lot of bootstrap growth using Earth Cycles, Instagram, TikTok, influencers, student ambassadors from the business schools. And as soon as we start September, we're going to reinvest a lot into Instagram ads and Google ads. And so
we wanted to check how it can work without putting anything on the marketing and everything. So we wanted to check, and after we will invest in marketing. And for now, it's going well, so that's great.
One last question, maybe. What do you do yourself with your unsold stock?
The one that we bought?
Yes.
The point here, and what makes this business model interesting, is that we buy the stock after the sale, only on the sales that have been done by the customers, so that we do not hold the stock, we do not take that risk, and we have a negative working capital requirement.
I think we're done, so thank you very much for your question, dear jury, and thank you again, ladies, for this beautiful first speech.
Thank you.
And now it's time to welcome our second team.
Attends, il faut 1 minute. We have to give them 1 minute to rank.
Yes, sure.
And 1 minute for you as well,
have to
audience.
assess the startups.
So we give you 1 minute to evaluate the project with the application. Okay, so rank them on the 5 dimensions. And in 1 minute, we're going to introduce the second team. Twenty seconds left.
And now it's time to welcome our second team to pitch, Korma.
With Samuel, Eloise, and Nikolai. Round of applause for them, please.
Hello. Hello, hello.
So you're ready. You know the rules. 3 minutes starting now. Let's go.
Recently, there has been a massive change in the way where as company and people work, the SaaS revolution. Take any company around you, and you might notice that they're using many software tools, right? Well, they're not alone. In the past 6 years, the number of software tools that are used by companies has been multiplied by 13 times, and it is massive. What we can tell you is that today, companies hope to use their SaaS to drive innovation. But using many SaaS tools come with very strong pitfalls. It brings them insecurity, and it brings them the wrong SaaS productivity. Overall, who suffers from this? The employees. And this is obvious when you look at some metrics. 71% of employees say that they have suffered from massive work complexity because of SaaS. 1/3 have left the company because of a SaaS stack hindrance, and overall, they lose an hour of productivity. This is insane, and it costs companies over 100 employees over 4 million euros every year.
What we found is that the root of the problem is that there is no data analytics on SaaS usage within companies. And this lack of visibility is what we tackle first with Korma. Korma is a software that allows companies to drive the best SaaS stack usage across teams. So what have we done? We've already built a fully functional MVP that aggregates all the SaaS usage data of employees and put it on this dashboard that you can see here. With this, we allow companies to map the entire SaaS stack usage, and we allow them to pinpoint suboptimal SaaS usage, satisfaction and adoption issues, as well as productivity frictions. But that's the first step. The second step later in the future will be to help directly employees with a tool to simplify their navigation and their usage of the SaaS daily. We aim to do this by boosting by 20% the 4 million loss of SaaS inefficiencies for companies with more than 300,000 companies worldwide, which leads us to a global market of 280 billion euros, which is huge. And we start first with European scale-ups because they've grown very fast and they face the biggest pain right now.
In this market, we can already show initial traction with 5 design partnerships that we have to co-create our solution as well as iterate on our market fit. Besides, we have a solid pipeline with customers that have the pain and want to solve it with us. If you look at the current ecosystem, we can say that it's not working. We have on the one side competitors that are SaaS management solutions, which only focus on licenses or cost, which only creates value in a very short term. On the other side, we have SaaS adoption tools, which are more upmarket, focusing on individual large solutions, leaving out the entire stack. This is where Comma comes in. We are an ambitious team of complementary experiences. We have backgrounds in tech and business together with startup experience, and we want to build Comma to build a solution for employees and for teams to solve the SaaS issue chaos. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now
Juries, they are all yours.
Thank you. You have buyers and you have users. How do you convince your buyer to pay for the users?
That's a very good question. So the target mainly is the COO of the company, and the way we convince them is we show them that really assessing the SaaS users within the company is key. And actually they realize this quite fast, because when we ask them, do you have visibility on what's happening within your SaaS stack? Usually the answer is no. Like one example is one of our current design partners, we asked them, do you know how many SaaS tools your employees use? He said maybe 20. He checked, it was 120. And then he said, actually, you know what? I deployed this very expensive software a couple of months ago, and I have no idea if people use it. And now that he has Cormac, he was able to actually see that they weren't using it correctly. And he redid some onboarding, and he boosted the productivity and the engagement on this software with the tool. So that's how we convince them.
Question, what kind of relationship do you expect to have with the SaaS providers, both the overperforming and the underperforming ones?
Great question. SaaS providers cannot have for example, Microsoft does not have the ability to understand the usage analytics of the licenses that they're selling. They understand the volume, but they're incapable to provide this information to their customers. So that's a good opportunity for us to, for example, build partnerships. On the other side, the SaaS that are underperforming, it is extremely useful for them to identify the right user persona and develop a better business.
So it's a great way for revenue expansion.
That was the underlying question. Thank you.
And maybe one question on how you first identify SaaS that are used. Do you need to ask a user or go to the managers, or do you have a way to track automatically?
Yeah, we track it automatically. The MVP is a browser plugin because we've seen the competitors, they use data scraping or they try to do it through APIs, which is quite difficult for technical reasons, but with our plugin we can do it automatically, and that's one of the main value propositions, because companies often, when they try to solve it, they have then like an Excel or Notion spreadsheet, and we want to automate that.
How do you make sure it's not another SaaS?
We'll have to define what just another SaaS is. SaaS are thousands today, like if you just give a number. It is extremely difficult to pinpoint the right number of SaaS existing in the world today. A SaaS is based to what we see as a SaaS is a tool that helps an employee become more productive. And overall, a SaaS that helps them do that will survive. A SaaS that does not help them do that has to change to survive. And we're here to help companies identify the right ones.
Our initial working title was One SaaS to Rule Them All. We stepped that down a little bit, but still, like for us, companies should need us to empower their SaaS stack. So we don't want to be just another one.
And that's a beautiful conclusion. Thank you, Karma. A round of applause for them, please. This way. So, dear audience, dear jury, you have now 1 minute to rank them. I know it's very short, but hey, that's the rules. And then we can welcome our third team. 30 seconds.
And now we are welcoming the third team to pitch, Alexandre, Théophile and Fanny for Horus Energy. Give them a round of applause.
Very good. Let's go.
Hi everybody, my name is Alex and we are Horus Energy. The biggest problem of the power grid operator is when everybody wants to consume electricity at the very same time. We have what is called a power demand peak, and it can lead to disastrous consequences like blackouts. And there's only two ways to deal with these peaks. The first one is to increase the production with the gas peaker plants, but these are very expensive and also very polluting. The other way around is to reduce the overall consumption by paying some of the customers so that they will lower the power they use for an hour or two. This mechanism is called demand response, and it can lead to, and it's a significant way to earn money for facilities. But with the rise of renewable energy, we need more flexibility. And actually, we need 10 times more demand response potential by the end of the decade. And the biggest potential for this lies in buildings, actually. But it has to be unlocked, as it is currently too complex for building operators. First of all, they don't know what actions to take in order to shed enough power without impacting tenants' comfort, and also they don't have any direct access to the market by themselves. So here's where Horus Energy steps in. Our platform allows any building manager to perform demand response in just a click. Then we're able to aggregate many buildings' flexibility and sell it directly on the open electricity market. Then our business model is gain sharing, so we give back a part to the buildings. So at the end of the day, for buildings, it's more revenue, less carbon, while helping the grid without any hardware nor investment. So it's a gigantic opportunity, and to begin with, we're going after large commercial buildings in France. And we need to go fast. We'll get our prototype ready by the end of the summer in Super-Héros, our school in Toulouse, and then some pilot project in the winter with the participants of the CubeFlex contest, which was a courses that the first edition was held at the beginning of the year. It's the very first large-scale demand response experiment in France. It was organized by the grid operator RTE, and it shows you that it's happening right now. So we're actually seeing a major shift in the history of the energy sector. The past was about abundant production, but the future lies in smart demand-side management. For this, we have a team that is both passionate and complementary, but we need your help to shape this future of energy. So vote for us. Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Okay, congratulations. Juries, they are all yours.
Maybe, thank you for the pitch first. Do you need to integrate to some players to be able to do this trade, and how complex is it?
So we integrate to the building management system of the building on one part, and we also receive the orders of demand response directly from the grid via an API.
So I know going software is part of your solution, but how do you plan to integrate with actors that are investing in hardware, such as a long-term energy storage solution? Is that something you plan to integrate, or is that out of your target?
And absolutely, and this is one part why our solution is great, because we plan to use AI, which is very flexible and can adapt to such solutions, where previous methods with building models have to be reshaped every time something new is added.
What is your experience so far with the go-to-market? How responsive is the market already? Are you too early?
No, now it's the right time to do it. So as we said, the very first experiment of demand response in commercial buildings was held from January to end of April, and was the very first time in France. So now it's the perfect time to launch. Yeah.
Plus, there is Decret Bax that just came in, and that force buildings to have some building management systems in, so that we can plug in this. So it's the right time.
How do you articulate with another trend, which is optimization of energy efficiency of our building that is actually reducing your potential for demand response?
It's a good point, but actually studies show that it's a complementary approach, and our long-term vision is actually to be the interface towards the buildings will interact with the rest of the network. So it's a paradigm shift. Now buildings will interact with other buildings, and also in the buildings with several systems like storage, batteries, EV vehicles. So you're right, but it's only 2% of the building that are refixed every year. So we have a long way to go.
Are your customers more private or public customers? Your customers are coming from the public or from the private?
Private. Our customers are real estate companies and also retailers that have multiple buildings.
I think we're done here. Congratulations. Round of applause. Thank you very much. And now you know what to do. 1 minute to vote. Let's go. Twenty more seconds. I feel being in Roland Garros, you know. 15A.
And now, please give a round of applause for the team of Ida, Matteo, Alex, and Mathieu.
Let's go. Round of applause for Ida, please. Hello, gentlemen. Attends, can you reboot? Can you reboot the chronometer? Thank you. Okay, let's go.
The future is fresh. I'm Matteo, co-founder of IDA, and we build the next revolution of supply chain software for all the nuances of fresh food. I mean fruits, veggies, meat, dairy, fish, bakery. As you can see, it's what consumers want, and definitely the main driver of the European trillion-dollar grocery market. And we have a special relationship with this market, because during COVID, we didn't hang out in bars or clubs, but in supermarkets. And that's what we saw, empty shelves. Going through this together, we spent months on the field to understand it. And we came to see that beyond COVID, all the ordering technology was built for the non-fresh food. So what happens in your nearest supermarket? You have John, produce manager, taking out his pen and this piece of paper to manually calculate his stock and estimate his ordering quantity based on his gut feeling. And it's a thin line, because if John overorders, he throws food away. And if he underorders, he misses more than 10% of revenues due to stockouts. Speaking of impact, this awful shrink emits 6 times more CO2 than the whole airline industry. We've been hanging out together for more than 5 years already, Mathieu comes out of 3 years on research on time series forecasting, and Alex has an incredible experience in delivering awesome tech products to frontline teams. And we already hired 3 interns and 2 people in the company to maximize our impact, because we released our first produce replenishment tool, helping retailer place a profit-maximizing, waste-minimizing order for each item of their stores. As you can see, we have an accuracy 10 times better than the current process using cutting AI technology such as transformers. And we are currently implementing in more than 6 entities in France and Switzerland. And retailers love it because we managed to reduce their food waste by 1/3 while increasing their sales by 3% by reducing stockouts. Our impact so far is 400 kilograms of food waste avoided in 3 months, representing 30,000 of this bottle of water. But it's not only about bottles of water, because speaking of economic impact, we bring a total value of 70k euro per store on an average supermarket. And we designed a SaaS subscription model out of it, making it a huge bottom-up addressable market of 20 billion euros in ARR in Europe. But grocery retail is only the beginning, because we'll go beyond helping store near you. And I'll finish with that statement. The survival of food business will depend on fresh. We're building the one-stop shop solution for them, as we are the new way to win in fresh. Vote for us. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Dear jury.
So I know it's not sexy for a pitch, but can you elaborate a bit on your technology and what gives you this kind of predictive power?
Yes. So our technology is based on 2 modules. First one is we are computing inventories on a daily basis. We have a huge work on data engineering. We receive data each day. We send data to the suppliers, and so we are able to know the exact quantity of items that are in stores. Moreover, we also have an AI tool to predict demand each day. It is based on transformers, and on this, we also have a supply chain module that use our demand forecast as a proxy to guess how much the chef de rayon has to order.
One question, how do you onboard your supplier base, which is by nature a non-scalable activity for a non-digitized sector and with a very high variability of players?
Yeah, so actually change management is a huge, I would say, challenge for us, because as you say, and we had that in our philosophy working on the project, that we wanted to target customers that are under-digitalized and that we wanted to have an impact on that. And to solve that issue of the scalability of the change management, actually we are transitioning the teams of the retailers in a 1-hour e-learning lesson about our product, which is really easy to use, so that they can handle the product in less actually than a day. They only have 3 actions to do, actually, like checking that our calculation of the inventory is okay, and then just checking that our recommendation of the optimal ordering is okay too.
Retailers, I guess, is the easy part, but I'm talking about the producer parts.
No, we don't do the producer parts. Like we just, for now, we just have a store product that helps, like this guy that orders on pen and paper to order on our app. But that's the long-term vision, to onboard like the producers and the stuff.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on your business model?
Yes, so basically it's a SaaS with like PS cost as usual, but we have 2 main clients. So the chaîne intégrée, as we call in France, so one buyer persona and 200 stores, and we currently have that on Naturalia, and independent ones such as Système U, Intermarché, and so on. So we both, like with those clients, either we deal with the whole enterprise value or the velocity account, and it takes, for a velocity account, we close them in less than 2 weeks, and for an enterprise, it's 2 to 3 months.
And in terms of your go-to-market, do you favor going locally or addressing the big groups first?
You have 10 seconds to answer.
Yeah, both. basically, because that's the way we're going to go and skyrocket it.
Okay, now you all will have 1 minute to assess the startup.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Round of applause,
Thanks
please. See you around. Great. And let's go for the vote.
Ah, c'est pour ça, elle a été là de me sourire, je disais, mais je les rêve. Courage. Vous êtes passé déjà? Non, on peut passer à quelle heure? Oh, on a... Ah, on peut prendre un LinkedIn ou un numéro de téléphone? J'avoue, on n'en fait pas.
30 more seconds.
Et le deuxième.
And now, please give a warm welcome to all fifth promising team, Arthur and Mohamed for Harmonia.
Round of applause for them, please. Hello, gentlemen. Well, you know the rules. Okay, 3 minutes starting now.
What connection do you see between older age, high blood pressure, and tobacco? These are 3 main factors for developing high-risk pregnancy. High-risk pregnancy represents 20% of pregnancy today. It is high risk for the woman, high risk for the baby, high risk for both, due to the medical history of the woman. Moreover, during this pregnancy journey, there is one period which is critical, which is the first trimester of pregnancy, during which 15% of pregnancy ends due to miscarriage or ectopic pregnancy, generating an extreme anxiety among some couples.
This anxiety is justified by the lack of daily monitoring or support during this first trimester. First of all, the ultrasound is not relevant because it gives only information about the localization of the embryonic sac. Second, the slightest symptom create panics among couples and they rush to the emergency. Third, they equipped themselves with inaccurate monitoring device like thermometer or pregnancy test to assess in the wrong way the pregnancy progress. And last, they spend a lot of money in blood test assessment to have information. Harmonia aims to relieve this anxiety by bringing to the couple peace of mind through biological data assessment with a device. Thanks to this medical device, a couple should be every morning collect a salivary sample in their bathroom daily and insert it in our hardware to quantify the beta-HCG, the pregnancy hormone, because it's the only biomarker that, with a daily assessment, could give information to the couple or the practitioner, good information in the pregnancy progress. It will be displayed in a mobile app that will also guide you during your pregnancy journey and integrate you in a healthcare ecosystem and a community.
About the market now, yearly there is 121 million of intentional pregnancy yearly. If we take into account the 20% of women experiencing high-risk pregnancy, this is a sum of 24 million women every year in the world. About the milestones, we began the project in the X-HEC Entrepreneur program. We then validated the product market fit at the Institut Imagine during the Bio-Entrepreneur Launchpad. We also began the R&D with an incubation at the Genopole in Évry. We launched our first pilot clinical study among 200 women last month. And we expect to roll out our proof of concept by the end of the year to raise a pre-seed by the beginning of next year.
To build this project, well, to myself, Mohamed, I'm a pharmacist and biotechnological engineer.
And myself, a biomedical engineer from EPFL.
We are supported by Max Richely, an expert in development of device for diagnostics, Philippe Touran, a key opinion leader in endocrinology and medicine of reproduction, and Dr. Julie Labrosse, who is a gynecologist and our leader in pilot clinical trial. Thank you for your attention.
Congrats. Jury, it's your turn.
How do you estimate the viability of your offer, of your solution?
What do you mean by the viability?
How can you trust it?
The beta HEC, it's have a synergetic very known. Like we know in the literature for many years that when it doubles, it has a good process, a pregnancy process. When it's stagnant, it's an ectopic pregnancy, and it's false, it's a miscarriage, fausse couche and grossesse extrautérine. So this is known, and now we use the matrix of the salivary to assess this same kinetics.
And the beta ECG is used in clinical routine today in the hospitals to assess the good progress of the pregnancy.
Does your product remove the need to go for blood testing, or is it additional for a more continuous follow-up?
The idea is to do the test daily because, as we explained just before, the progress, it is estimated every 48 hours with like, is it double, is it stacked? So the idea is really to have a monitoring every day, so every woman, every couple could check the good progress of the pregnancy from their home every day and relieve the anxiety.
How you manage data privacy, as in healthcare, it's a very special topic.
Now we are mostly focused on the R&D of the test, but it will be like a key subject in the following months or years.
So since you have a very clear value proposition in selling peace of mind, where do you expect your competition to be on that peace of mind providing, which is not today provided by other biomedical solutions, but which is provided by a range of solutions?
The main idea is that today, available on the market, there is only applications that give general recommendation about like how to manage your pregnancy, but without any personalized data and personalized information, taking into account the biological data and the good progress. It's like mainly information for every woman. Even if the pregnancy is not going well, the app will not stop giving recommendations, so it's not personalized. So we expect competition from this side, but from the biological test, we have no real competitors right now on the pregnancy, but more on the fertility side.
Because you would almost get into the same budget as the one you would use for a doula, for example. That's part of your package you use to get that peace of mind.
Yeah, the idea is also on the app. We didn't describe everything on the app, but the idea is really to have like a connection with healthcare ecosystem and healthcare professionals to guide, if necessary, the woman.
Wonderful. Thank you, team. Round of applause for them, please. Okay, you know what to do. 1 minute straight starting now. Twenty seconds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like a round of applause for Emma Fred and the project Optimo.
Give her a warm welcome.
Well, Emma, you know what to do. You got 3 minutes, starting now.
Right. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma, founder of Optimo, and I'm really pleased to present to you my company. Today, we're going to talk about energy renovation. But first, let me tell you a little story. Do you see this building? On the 5th floor, it's Michael's apartment. Michael's bought it 10 years ago for renting it out, and so he's making money of it every month. But 2 years ago, Michael learned that his apartment is DPEG.
What is the DPE? It's the Diagnostic de Performance Énergétique. It's a rating between A and G, rating housing on the energy performance. And in France, the state decided to ban from renting out housing from E to G. So Michael knows that he has to renovate his home, but he doesn't know what to do precisely, to do it efficiently, and at what cost. We conducted 100 of interviews at the beginning of the year, and 80% of people are in the same situation as Michael. They don't really understand their DPE, and they don't know what to do to improve it efficiently. And the problem in France is really huge, because 40% of housing is concerned by this ban. That's why we created Optimo. We offer people a user-friendly solution to master their energy renovation. We want to answer the questions, what to do, how much, and how. So we created the only accurate energy rating change simulator with work proposals. It's really intuitive and simple to use. First, you upload your DPE and answer some check questions about your apartment or home. And then you choose the target letter you want to achieve, D for example, for Michael. And we propose you the best work to do to achieve this target letter. You have the details of the work to do, the estimated costs, as well as the energy savings. And third, you renovate your home and you get warranty on the results, because we find for you the best partner for your project, and we warranty you that you'll achieve your objective if you go through the whole process with us. And yes, here he is, Michael, very much happy here. We are a strong team. We've been knowing each other for 7 years, me and Thomas. I'm more on the sales and partnership part, and he's a technical guy, so on the technical side. Today we are deploying our solution through the network of trusted actors in the energy market, for example, Total Energy, but also real estate agencies or architecture agencies. We beta tested our simulation on 10 housing, and we launched our first renovation 2 weeks ago, a really big one, more than 50K. I have 2 more on the way. Thank you very much for your attention, and do not hesitate to come and see me if you are concerned by this problem. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. So, time for questions.
Thank you very much for your pitch. What you consider as your entry barrier? What prevents any other provider to do the same, or to say at least that they do the same?
So first of all, the technology, because we reproduce the 3CL model, which is the model implemented, donated by the ADEME in France. So we recreated it, and we have our own software for that. But also, I think our partnerships, because we are linked with different big actors who are really interested by this. So the network effect is quite huge for us.
Is there a dynamic component in your model, meaning that can you predict building aging and the impact the aging of the materials will have on the DPE?
On the DPE? Today, it's not really taking into account the aging of the materials. The DPE is more calculated on the current situation. So, for example, you have 10 centimeters of insulation of your home. We just enter this in the software. So today, it's not really taken into account in the calculation. So no.
Okay.
You said you could commit to the letter, the target letter that the client is looking for. So how do you do that? Because you are not a diagnostiker. You are partnering with the diagnostiker, right? So,
yes.
And they are responsible for this.
So we start from the current situation, your current DPE, and we assure you, because we have the same software or the same method-based software as the diagnostiker, that you'll achieve the letter you want to achieve doing these works. And because it's a math-based calculation, there is a really thin possibility for
maybe I wasn't clear. It's more about like the risk that you are taking on your side, the risk that is taken by the renovator, if he doesn't really deliver, you know, on the.
Yeah, that's why we are creating quite a strong network with specialized actors. So RGE, warranty on the efficiency of the work and the energy works they provide us. So we audit our partners, and so we make sure that they are trustful, they work well. Yeah, that's our own process.
How do you identify RGE workers? Do you need to go in some place? Is it a label given by the government?
Yes, exactly. It's labelized from the government. So there is a list on the internet. You can have it on the ADEME. And then we have a whole process to check them, to audit them, and to see, we ask them some references of previous work they did, so we can check that they work well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma.
Congratulations.
And thank you, Optimo.
You have now 1 minute to assess Emma and her startup, Optimo.
Twenty seconds. And now it's time to welcome on stage Pierre-Louis and Paul-Louis for the startup Phospho. Round of applause for them, please. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Perfect. Well, you both know what to do, so you got 3 minutes starting now.
So, generative AI is reshaping the way we interact and we engage with technology. It's the most transformative wave since the birth of the web at the beginning of the 90s. In few years, we will only interact with AI-powered tools and software named agents. There will be no more apps or websites. So figures are really telling to illustrate this revolution. Today, the market size of AI-powered software is only $100 billion. It will be multiplied by 10 in less than 5 years to reach a $1 trillion industry.
But this $1 trillion industry needs tools. Today, when builders of Gen AI-powered software want to build a new product, they are stuck just right here. This is why we created Phospho. So with Phospho, they can deploy, test, and scale Gen AI-powered software in one click. So how does that work? Well, they give us the code repository, and then with Phospho, in one click, we make it a deployed, fully managed, client-ready software, a real product, actually.
But what makes Phospho really special? We are the first agent deployment tool by design for 3 reasons. First, we allow an instant preview and testing to enable developers to ship faster. Then, we are cloud native to handle the scale of many applications. And third, we are agent-centric. Namely, we embed all the technology to make the agent work in our tech stack. Regarding our business model, we are a platform as a service. Our many cloud actors like AWS, Vercel, or Google Cloud, with 2 plans. So a free tier to build a community around our product to become industry standard, and then a paying tier to allow startups and large groups to have collaborative features and unlock the full power of Phospho.
So, where are we now? We already launched our MVP. Actually, this is already a third version of it. And it's in closed beta. We have 100 beta testers. We are planning to open up this beta in a few weeks. And then we are planning to raise funds in order to ship the new Pro plans, so the new features for the Pro plans, in order to earn revenue by the end of the summer. So you can yourself try Phospho with this QR code, or just go to phospho.app to register for the waitlist. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Applause. And now, dear jury, you got 3 minutes. Let's go.
Can you expand a bit on your strategy around community, what kind of community you are trying to build, and how you nurture all of your free users to go to the next stage?
So actually, we are doing what major companies like Heroku and Versal did. So there is a free tier where anyone can build, and then if these projects go live, we build based on either the quotas, if they use too much resources, or either based on the features, because companies need, obviously, additional features.
Who are your competitors?
So, given the fact that it's a really new space, there are not really big competitors, but few startups, for instance, startups that did the previous batch or the YC, but the space is really new. And we got like few competitors, but they didn't choose the same paradigm as us. They mainly focus on no-code tools to build the agent, and on our side, we focus on the deployment and serving of agents.
I had a little bit the same question about competition. Why do you think big competitors or big companies wouldn't tackle this opportunity, as it's such a big market? What about the big fish there?
Yeah, thanks. Super interesting question. Our paradigm is to believe that it was the same case for web apps like 10 years ago, and a major actor like Versal and Heroku really managed to make their place, given the fact that they really specialize on a very specific usage, and big actor like AWS or Google Cloud didn't enter this space. It's a really specific pipeline to develop agent, as it was for web app in this time. And so we clearly believe that this big cloud actor will not enter our space.
Are you designing your company to be purchased eventually by a Microsoft or someone like that?
So that could be a possibility, but we are not really thinking about it now. We're just shipping the product.
And what would be the key challenges before the product is fully ready for you to solve?
There is a huge first mover advantage in this space, and so we are striving among the first actor to move, and so it will be the pace of the community to make it grow, to take enough market share to build the product.
Seems like we're good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Round of applause, please, for Phospho.
Thank you, guys.
Super, thanks.
And now you know what to do. 1 minute starting now. Twenty seconds.
Next team to pitch is composed by Manon, Alexandre and Kevin for Solteo. Round of applause for them. So, 3 minutes, you start when you want.
Hello everyone. Because today is a special day. I want you to come in the village I grew up. This village, it's Buny-Saint-Maclou. We have 400 residential houses, but not a single one is equipped with solar panels. And yet, this same village should look like this in 2030. Why that? Because of the rise of the electricity price, but also the emergency of the energy transition. So, solar installers are just facing a large amount of work, and they are overwhelmed.
And this is the main problem of the energy transition. Professionals are lacking time. And because they are lacking time, they are refusing projects. But time here is also the key. Because when you deep dive in their organization, in their planning, you see that more than half of their time is not dedicated to their core business and expertise. So we saw the problem, and we decided to act. So we are Manon, Kevin, and Alexandre. We are a team of 3 passionate engineers dedicated to energy, innovation, and impact.
We want to enable companies to succeed in solar generation in a digital, scalable, and profitable way. The market we target is the market of the solar software, estimated to $19 billion in the world and $3 billion in the US.
So at Solteo, we developed a solar project management SaaS conceived specifically for and with solar professionals. So what do we do? First, we offer them a collaborative space and tool to organize and manage their teams and projects. Second, we developed a super nice editing photo tool for them to lead technical studies and administrative tasks. And finally, with our platform, every information at every step of the project is supported. And this Rolls-Royce will only cost them $12K a year.
So right now we are aggregating every single installateur to make sure that we are building a strong network that we will then connect during the growth phase, and this is where it is amazing, with the other big players on the value chains. And by this, I mean developers and distributors. We have already generated more than 5K of revenue, so it means that Solteo has supported 14 solar projects, and trust me, this figure will just explode in a few weeks thanks to our MVP that will launch very soon. And if you see the incubation in September, it's because we think that you can make it possible today. And finally, we will start the vertical integration strategy in April 24 by connecting with distributors.
So the future of solar starts now, and it starts with you. Vote for Solteo. Thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Well, dear members of the jury, let's go.
What tool do they use as for now? And could you confirm their willingness to pay for a whole new tool?
Yes, like basically they are really wanting it. So we have like co-design partners that are ready to pay, and that they will pay because they are already paying for like our services. That's what they're paying for now. And today, the services that they use, it's like generic solutions, and every step of sort of photovoltaic project is like kind of specific, and you know, like all the softwares from the building and stuff, it's not adapted anymore. And so the main solution that is adapted now is like creating a job to manage the project. So, yeah.
Is this market very scattered and difficult to access, or do you have network nodes before the distributors? I mean, you know, the small companies, installers, and what's the cost of acquisition for such a client?
Okay, so right now we are discussing with small installers, so the ones that are like 10 or 70 employees in their company. But we have started talking with already big developers. They are pretty easy to access for the small ones, and the bigger one, we just have to make sure that we have the right project. But actually, our conversation with them right now, it's in a good way. So it's pretty easy.
Today, we have this problem of network. But we know that this network exists. There is like a big cooperation, and they are all talking to themselves. We have to unlock some value for the first customers to access this network then. But the network exists, and we will use it.
What are your entry barriers?
Sorry?
Barrières à l'entrée. What are your
Ah.
entry barriers?
Basically, we think that the main barrier entry is the confidence from the installers, because you know that they are builders company, they are not used to digital ways and digital tools. So we have to first create value for them, and just coming in their company is the most difficult. And then we have a technical barrier, because this editing tool and the administrative thing and leading a technical study is hard, and you have to do the job to understand. So basically, the confidence of the installers, and then there is some technicality in the job.
Last question quickly. What is the trend currently among the installers? Is there a consolidation happening or a lot of new players emerging?
There is a lot of new players emerging, and the existing ones are lacking a bit behind, because they lack a good product to help them grow. And the newcomers are also seeking for a good product. So that's why we're here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you for your pitch.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, you can go this way.
Now you have 1 minute to assess the team and their project.
Starting now. Twenty seconds.
Now, please give the warmest welcome to Emmanuel and Quentin, pitching Ginger.
On stage, Ginger, welcome. And it starts now.
Think about 10 women you know well. They may be your mother, your friend, or your colleague. Well, the odds are that at least one of them has endometriosis, which means that worldwide, more than 200 million women suffer from this chronic and inflammatory disease of the uterus and constantly live with disabling symptoms such as depression, infertility, or chronic fatigue. The issue with endometriosis is that there's no permanent cure. However, we know that a tailored and comprehensive care can sustainably reduce symptoms that are affecting women's well-being at work and women's career plan. So that's why we've decided to create Ginger, in order to enhance well-being for women at work, starting by addressing endometriosis.
As studies show, a comprehensive care plan can reduce disabling symptoms by more than 50%. So, in collaboration with specialized doctors and patients, we are building the first comprehensive digital care plan that is continuous, adaptive, and truly personalized. This way, patients will be able to sustainably manage their symptoms and decrease all consequences of their disease at work.
But endometriosis not only is a physical pain for patients, it's also an economic pain for companies. If we take the example of company X, for instance, which is a 500-employee firm with 50% female in it, endometriosis disabling symptoms only results in more than 775 missed workdays each year. So wouldn't it be great if company X could enhance well-being for all their employees and save up to 390 productive workdays each year?
It would and it could, by offering Ginger as an employee benefit available to all employees who may need it. This means that our typical users are employees with endometriosis, and our buyers are HR and benefit departments of companies. Our buyers will pay a monthly subscription based on the global number of female employees, and Ginger will ensure that buyers have no access at all to patients' data. At first, Ginger will only focus on endometriosis. And then we will also progressively deal with other common and unspoken women's health challenges in order to become the reference digital clinic that enhance women's well-being at work.
And in order to do that, we're Quentin and I, a highly motivated and complementary team benefiting from the support of high-level partners and 2 pilot companies. And we're currently looking for an incubator program starting in September. So here's what you need to remember about Ginger, and we hope you'll accompany these 200 million women with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear jury, 3 minutes for the questions.
How do you estimate Ginger will help women on the workplace? In the working
Excuse me?
place? How does Ginger helps women on the working place?
The thing is that we aim at reducing symptoms, and these symptoms have a direct impact on women's well-being at work. For instance, chronic pain impedes women to go to work, and then they have less, like it has an impact on how people see them at work and how they plan their career. So if we reduce chronic pain, women will be able to continue living normally with the disease.
How open-minded are the HR people or corporate people you are meeting? Is this easy to convince them, or is this still a touchy subject?
They know it's a hot topic for now. I don't know if you heard, but Carrefour just decided to give days off to women with endometriosis. So HR people are aware of it, which is much better than 5 years ago, for instance. So it's getting better, and the ones we've talked about are mainly agreeing that they will pay for such a service if we address also other disease in the long term. So that's also why we have this strategy of going towards other disease after we address endometriosis.
Can you elaborate a bit on the efficiency of your product and the way you have an actual impact?
We are based on the National Endometriosis Association named Endo France, which we've proved that paramedical solution can help and reduce considerably symptoms. For example, sports can create endorphin and reduce pain. Maybe as well foods, anti-inflammatory foods can help. You can reduce milk and increase lemon, for example. And we are based with our specialized doctor, Marie-Secarelli, who confirmed that. And we are testing currently our MVP with 10 patients to prove that.
What about competition?
There is competition in France and abroad, but competition in France is mainly on the diagnosis part that comes with a lot of research, which is still quite recent, and also on information. So we're the first to be on the care plan side. Abroad, our competitors are positioned on the care plan side, but they're looking more towards they're based in the US and in the UK, and looking towards the US as well, because health systems are more similar there than they are in other European countries.
Thank you very much. We are done. Round of applause for you. And now, audience and dear jury, we have 1 minute to rank. Let's go. Fifteen sec. And now, please, let's welcome Astrid and Louis for the project Turing. Let's applaud them, please. Let's encourage them. Wonderful. Okay, and you can start right now.
Now, it might sound like a scam. We're going to show you that it's possible to hack any exam. Meet Fabien. He's in his first year of prépa, one of 2 years that he'll have to go through before he can pass the national entrance exam to get into HEC. He's swamped. Today, he took down 10 pages of notes in geopolitics, and philosophy is not any better. In fact, he's got an oral exam in just a couple of days, the famous Col, for those who know. And on top of that, he has a bunch of vocab that he's going to have to memorize for tomorrow. So, yikes. We know what it's like. We've been in the same shoes as Fabien. Like him, we've prepared for the world's most selective exams, and we've gotten into the top schools. And like Fabien, we've realized that today, there are no efficient study tools for very selective exams. Now, it's 6 p.m. Fabien just got home. He's made himself some dinner. He's seated, and he's getting ready to study. Now, believe it or not, he's
It's 19 pages that he has to study. What if he could turn these 19 pages into flashcards very quickly? Well, believe it or not, that's what we did. In how long? 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds to take 19 pages into flashcards. Question on the one side and the answer on the other. Just like Question for un champion. We did this with the best language model. I don't know if you've heard about it, ChatGPT. Turing is your new study buddy. It enables even the most demanding students to study anywhere, anytime. Long gone are the days where you had to fill in everything out by hand on manual tools. Now you can benefit from a high-performing, high-tech platform with the best user experience. We're targeting a vast opportunity of 206 billion euros if you take into account exams and tutoring. Sorry, but we will be focusing on France in the beginning, on the French exam market. We'll have a mobile and desktop version. On the mobile version, you'll have other functionalities, like challenging your friends. So we're betting on gamification, and seeing your ranking and your school's ranking. We've adopted a freemium business model, so you can see other users' flashcards for free, and you can use our generator for €5 a month if you wish. With combined tech and design skills, we were able to develop our beta version entirely internally. You'll see the demo in a few seconds, of course. And we're continuously collaborating with students. You've met Fabien before. Teachers, famous teachers, and studying platforms like Major Prépa to make Turing the next best study tools in 2003. Thank you for listening, and I'll leave you with a demo as I answer your questions.
Okay, and now Jerry, 3 minutes. Let's go.
Just to come back on the business model, I saw that you have a free version and a paying one.
Yep.
What does it give access to be paying user?
The paying version, with the paying version, you access the generator, so it's our main functionality, the one that generates flashcards automatically. And if you're a free user, you can still use it to study, but you'll only see other users' flashcards.
How you will get to the market? So you talked about the first conversation you have, but you need a big scale in the end, based on your business model.
Yeah.
How do you see the go-to-market?
So we're starting with the French market because that's the one we know best and that's where we have contacts. So you saw Fabien, he's a real student. We're starting with students like him in prépa, in law school, in medicine school. So we're going to tackle this market first, get it renowned because it's like the most prestigious studies. And then we'll try to expand to Europe and then eventually the world. We also have contacts in Cambridge thanks to our past studies.
Any idea about how many users you will need to get a break even?
Well, at least to raise some money, we'll need about 1,500, 2,000 users. We've talked with VCs before and they say that's the break point. And for now, we have 500 users.
How do you deal with handwriting?
With, sorry?
Handwriting?
with handwriting. It's a function that we're going to develop. We would like to have a scanner, so you can take a picture and scan it. And we started with only copy and paste, and now we already have the export version with a PDF. So we're working on that. Yeah.
And there's plenty of open source OCR tools available, so we're just going to implement one of these.
With image recognition, of course.
Do you think we will have to partner with some tutoring companies? And what is the next step? You know, once you've done your flashcard, is that enough in terms of preparing for the exam, or do you need a full stack of support?
We don't want to replace the usual tools. We know that students are going to have to read their courses before, but the idea would be you read your course, you get the idea, and then you really study the facts. And that's what you need for medicine school, for prepa, for law school. It's really to learn the facts, the numbers, the stats. And so that's what we're planning on. And of course, we know that it's not going to be enough because it's something that you can develop. Anyone with great tech abilities can develop. That's why we're putting the user-friendly on top of that, and the gamification. We know that it's not enough, just as flashcards.
And how do you see usage of the solution? In particular, if it's downloaded for exams, then how do you create retention of the students?
Well, it depends. Of course, we're going to have students, especially in high school, where they are just going to use it for their exam. But students with very demanding studies, you can't just study before an exam. You have to study all the way. And we know that because we've been there. That's why we think we're the best to develop the solution, because we know how they work.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Round of applause for them, please. Thank you. And now, 1 minute to evaluate this project starting now. Twenty seconds.
Next team to pitch is HEC with Marie and Violette. Big round of applause.
Hello, ladies. Welcome on stage.
Thank you.
So 3 minutes starting from now.
Hello, everybody. We're very happy to be here to present HEC.
We are Violette and Marie, both from HEC, and we're working with Myriam from École Polytechnique and Louise, a liberal midwife.
60%. That number shocked us. 60% of French women have given up gynecological care at least once in their life. And this is serious, because it means no early detection of cancers or sexual transmissions. But why is that?
There are two main reasons to that problem. First, the huge struggle to find a trusted healthcare provider on traditional tools such as Doctolib, which is absolutely crucial when it comes to such an intimate subject. And second, when you eventually manage to find one, mainly thanks to word of mouth, the amount of time to book an appointment can go up to 6 months when you're lucky.
That is why we decided to create HEC, to enable women access trustworthy and adapted gynecological care without waiting for months.
So how does it work? HEC is women's toolbox in gynecology. When registering on HOMA, each woman chooses her referent midwife and keeps her for a long-term trusted relationship. She is then able to book an appointment for any kind of need through teleconsultation, in-person appointment, or at-home consultation, and to communicate with her via chats for any urgent matter. We take care of orienting women towards the best consultation channel for them in order to optimize everybody's time. Now you may be wondering, but if Doctolib is struggling to find available care providers, won't it be the exact same problem for midwives?
Well, no, because you might not be aware of it yet, but since January 2023, midwives have become a medical profession. So they actually can do an entire gynecological follow-up. And they are 3 times more numerous than gynecologists, so they can really help with the doctor shortage. But you may also wonder, why would they go on Home Care if they can go on Doctolib?
Because 70% of them are unsatisfied with it. It is completely unadapted to their needs. It is a financial abyss. It costs 150 euros per month. And besides, it's responsible for the huge amount of no-shows they are facing.
That is why our tool is going to be perfectly adapted for midwives. It is going to be affordable. It creates a trustworthy relationship with the patient, so it really decreases cancellation rates. And it's going to offer an easy management of patients for midwives.
Anyways, the proof is live. We have launched Home Care mid-May and already have 10 midwives beta testing it with us to handle their patients, and more than 100 consultations have been booked via Homa. And this is only the beginning.
Indeed, we have big ambitions. And gynecology is only the first step in Home Care's journey, as we want to really change and build tomorrow's healthcare for all women. We want to impact at least 1 million women before 2027. So now we're looking for a stimulating environment to help us get our project to the next level. Thank you very much.
Very energetic indeed. Congratulations. Jury?
Would a midwife work both on Doctolib and with you? Or would you replace Doctolib? And how do you sell that to them, as Doctolib already has a strong customer base?
So our goal is that midwives use our tool rather than Doctolib. So really to replace our Doctolib with our tool and to build a tool that is completely adapted to their needs. For instance, with features for at-home consultation and so on. And I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of features that actually Doctolib doesn't have that are very useful for midwives. So the at-home consultations are very important, but also the group consultations. For example, when you're pregnant, you also do a lot of group consultations, and you cannot do that with Doctolib. So we really want to replace it, and we have strong arguments.
We know that word of mouth is very efficient to share the quality of a gynecologist practitioner. How does your platform integrate this behavior from your user?
Well, for the trust part, we really want to work on that because indeed word of mouth is important. So we're going to rely on our community to really spread the word. But we also have a very good process to recruit good midwives that are going to be trustworthy. We have a midwife in our team, so of course we're building the process with her. And we think that having the best tool is going to help us have very good word of mouth. So it's going to be integrated.
And because we want to guarantee trust in the long term and to keep this good reputation and quality, we will of course enable patients to report in case of any problem and take care of that really quickly. And all of that will be done confidentially, of course.
Very good transition. Confidential. So the non-fancy question, what about privacy and data as you're managing health data?
So to manage health data, we will plug ourselves to data centers that are specialized in health data and that are secured. And that is something we have to dive again in it. But actually, we know that it is possible to plug with this system to manage data securely, and it does not cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it's HDS in French. So yeah, we're looking into that.
How do you see stickiness? Or like the lifetime value of your typical customer, knowing that a midwife is in interaction with the customer, your customer, during a bit before pregnancy up to delivery, so and then you have to reacquire a new one every time. So how do you do that?
So stickiness, it's a good question, but it's very early to talk about figures right now because we really launched our MVP 3 weeks ago. So it's, you know, we need time in order to gather data, but we're very confident for the midwives part that they're going to use our tool daily because it's going to be their work tool, of course, so that's not going to be a problem. And then for the patients,
for the patient, I mean, if the midwife uses tool to book appointments and so on, the patient will also use it, and we will also develop qualitative content and information for a patient because we have identified that a huge need on the patient side is to have access to quality information, and that is also something we are working on, and that will bring stickiness to our tool.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies. Round of applause, please, for your project.
Thank you. Thank you.
And 1 minute for the audience as a jury to evaluate the project starting now. 10 seconds. Okay, it's now time to welcome our final projects for today. Flore, Christian, and Tristan for Vuitton. A round of applause, please. Hello, hello. Okay, 3 minutes starting now.
Hi, I'm Flore, and today with Christian and Tristan, we are presenting how Vuitton is about to transform fashion photography. So let's play a little game. What does this photo have in common? They all require this, photo shoots, which in the real life looks more like this. I've drawn this to show how we really shoot in the fashion industry. So it's very complex and inefficient with a huge cost, $20 billion worldwide. For fashion brands, it entails 3 major pains. First, the cost, obviously. With the model, it costs 1,500 euro for a day of work. Then also a longer time to market with on average 2 weeks. And finally, it's just a real hassle to organize. You need 2 to 3 weeks in advance to plan it. But imagine we could have fashion photography without photo shooting.
That's exactly what we offer brands. We offer them an alternative to be able to generate an endless variety of on-model images at a fraction of the cost in a single moment. To do this, we use a packshot photo and the photo of a real model to generate our images. So let's continue the small game we started with Flore. Which photo here do you think is the real one? Is it the one on the right? On the left? What about here with different poses? And we can really do this at scale. We do this with our AI that we've been working on for 16 months with a world-class researcher at Telecom Paris. Very concretely, what we offer brands is a self-service platform where they can upload their garments, choose from a catalog of real models, and generate their images. We have identified for this 3 customer profiles: multi-brand online retailers, B2B wholesale brands, and traditional online retailers. And we have already reached advanced strategic discussions with them. We're on the verge of signing 1 paid POC, already signed 2 letters of intent, and data exchange contracts, which is really important.
And after having discussed with them and many other brands, we discovered that approximately 2% of their revenue goes to that photo shoot cost. So on a global fashion e-commerce market of $800 billion, we have a total addressable market of $20 billion. And if we just focus on marketplaces, we have a target market of $11 billion. And the good news, it's finally happening. Farfetch and Walmart just acquired 2 advanced competitors in this field, and we are about to be on the top of this field.
And finally, to achieve this very ambitious goal, we have a very strong team. Our CEO, Flore, has business background from HEC. I myself, I'm a graduate from École Polytechnique with experience in machine learning research, where I met my longtime friend, Tristan, who's been working on this very specific subject for a long, long time. So please, vote for us, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
3 minutes straight. Well done. Jerry?
Quick question about ethics. Do you believe that your product will benefit more the fast fashion industry? And if yes, do you plan to mitigate that?
Actually, it's kind of at the heart of who we are as a team, because it's a question we have thinking about a lot, and we have taken 3 big decisions about it. First, we won't work with environmental cancers like ASOS and Shine. And then we are also working with Fashion Revolution and Clear Fashion, a French startup that is enhancing transparency in fashion. And we want to provide better pricing for sustainable brands. And finally, we don't want to show us as impactful because we're not, but we want to promote a sustainable fashion.
Thank you.
How do you see yourself adding value to the highly photorealistic synthetic data that comes from, for example, CAD model with fully 100% fake models versus what you're offering?
It's actually one of the reasons why, beside ethical question, we want to work with real models. It's because the photo from the start had a better quality. Because if you work with real models, with real photographer, you have a better lighting, you have a better makeup artist, and our AI use this quality to do the images we just showed you.
In terms of usage, does a photo of the product, is it sufficient, or do you need more data on the measures? And if so, is it standardized, so easy for you to upload?
We only use the photo of the garment, the pack shot photo of the garment that is usually shot in production when it's produced, and we can just generate our images just like that.
How do you acquire customers?
For now, we have two main channels. The first one, the big one, I would say, is a classic approach, B2B approach, and that's why we're currently working with Lacoste, ProMode, and Spartoo with data exchanges. But also on the other side, we are creating a community to have beta testers with these little creators that can use our tool and give us feedback. And for now, we have very good feedbacks.
And what is your positioning versus the other existing solutions?
Sorry?
Your positioning versus the existing solutions?
Existing solution, there's like three kinds. Tech studio photo, I would say, which is by definition not as scalable as ours. Also, virtual try-on solution, and our main differentiation, I would say, is first quality, and also real models, and this capacity to be really focused on brands and art, fashion, photography, I would say.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vitten. You can leave the stage, please. And now a final minute of ranking. And then we just need 2 more minutes of your time, and that will be it. Okay, 10 more seconds. So we all know it's been pretty intense, has it? So we want to thank you all, thank you everyone for this end of demo day. Thank you and congratulations to all the team who have delivered brilliant pitches in 3 minutes straight, which, trust me, is one very difficult exercise. And thanks again, a round of applause here for our jury members who are probably brain failing right now, and that's probably usual on this.
And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for your presence and support. Let's meet back here on the main stage at 5:15 to discover the 2 winning teams and the awards.
Yep.
Thank you so much.